For this module, I would like to discuss the Algerian theory and my takes on that. I would like to first start out by saying that I found myself gravitating more towards the Algerian theory more so than the psychoanalytic theory, and I'm sure that my past influence plus my present influences um, and experiences have definitely had an impact on my gravitational towards this theory. However, I'd like to begin just by giving my take or my summary or how I would sum up this theory. And talk a little bit about what has worked for me and what currently works for me in my role as a mentor and tutor. So, to me, if when I summarize this theory, the Algerian theory, for me it means the counselor is helping to develop the client um, in a way that is encouraging and promotes growth, and it also helps them to focus or help them to realize their strengths and other ways and other routes and avenues to achieve a goal that the client themselves has set out and to achieve, which is also most of the time from what I've read and what I understood is agreed upon or realized during the session with their counselor. So, of all the techniques that were listed in the PowerPoint presentation and in our text, the one that I find to be the most effective for me in my profession as a writing tutor and mentor right now currently is the acting as if theory or technique, as well as the summary and termination um, technique. And I can tell you that this works best for me because if I give the example of acting as if, most of the students come in and they don't like writing, they absolutely hate it, they feel like it's the worst subject ever, and more importantly, they don't feel that it relates to what they want to do in their career as, whatever they may be. For example, some students who may be a criminal justice major may feel like, okay, I don't see how I'm going to have to write papers. I don't see how, writing this is going to help me in the field. So I try to find ways, first of all, that I can relate the two things for the individual. And then in finding out more about the student, I can see their strengths. And then, first of all, admit, and acknowledge their strengths and say, hey, you're good at this. And by me, addressing that strength, sometimes they're not even aware of, that motivates them and encourages them. And when they're encouraged, they want to do more work, and then they're engaged. You're like, oh my goodness, okay, now this isn't as bad as I thought. And then they start coming up with their own ideas about and process of writing, and they start to brainstorm about things that I didn't even tell them. All I did was give them this encouragement or help them to see their strengths, and from there, these whole other ideas just came bursting out. And I feel like this theory, the Algerian theory, is in a sense being put into play, into practice, because the students are becoming aware of their own strengths. It's motivating and helping them to develop as an individual, and it's promoting um, and helping them to reach their goal. So, when it comes to the actual other technique that I feel that is effective, this will be the um, excuse me for the long pause. This would be, I'm trying to read my notes and use the video at the same time. But nonetheless, I believe it would be the summarization. So for me, what that means is they tell me something, and I, summarize what they tell me, or reiterate what they tell me, so the way that it shows that, hey, I'm listening, I understand what you're saying, and then them hearing it back, it's like, yeah, see, yeah, you understand. So it's like they feel the connected. So there I'm building the person-to-person relationship as does the Algerian counselor would do. So I feel like I've been putting that into practice already because you want to be able to relate to your client, or for me, my students. If they feel like they can relate to you, they feel like you understand them, they'll be more open and they'll share with you. And they'll be more apt to take on any maybe suggestions or try new things or that you may feel would be best for them as well. So the one that I feel that is least professional or not as effective would be the as you think, or excuse me, not as you think, but the